We're in the live channel, guys.
Oh boy.
Right. So, I will count down from 5, 4, 3.
Alright guys, we are back with the final run of the day, Titanfall 2 by cRoss. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Mendez, and thank you all for having me. This is going to be interesting for me because I have never done a run this long before. My last 3 UKSG runs have all been less than 10 minutes, so this is quite the next step up. So I feel like it would be best to get this on the way as soon as possible. I do want to preface this by saying one thing. I will be using quick saves just for the sake of the marathon environment, so this will not be a valid run, but, like, unless I submit it to the Titanfall 2 quick save category extension, but that's whatever. So, time will start after this loading screen and when I press space to begin. So, I hope we are all ready. This game is one of my favorites to play, and I've been running it for so long, and I'm so glad to finally get to show it. So, let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. And, of course, we start with some cutscenes. So, I should explain a few things about this game before we really get going. This game is Titanfall 2. It was released by Respawn Entertainment, the same guys who made Apex Legends. Titanfall takes place in the same universe as Apex Legends, and this game is actually based on the Source engine. So, you'll recognize that sort of look up, look down thing from, like, what, Portal 2? And you are going to immediately begin recognizing some movement techniques from the Source engine in their full glory. So, hoping I not miss it. Yep, so this is slide hopping. It's the same as bunny hopping, essentially, but if I... But pilots have the ability to slide, which can preserve some of their momentum for a little bit longer after touching the ground. Wall jumps are a thing. Now, Titanfall 2 runs at a native 60 ticks per second, which is essentially frames but not frames. So, that's, again, another Source engine holdover. And the faster you kick off of a wall, if you do it within 5 ticks or less, you get a massive speed increase off of that wall. Now, this is something that not many people know about. There's an EPG up here. Reload animation skip. And switch back over to the EPG, and launch ourselves over the invisible Lastimosa there. And now we make it to the Gauntlet. This is where we can use frag boosting, because this is virtual reality. We don't die in virtual reality. So we are free to just hold frag grenades in our hands until they explode. This is really slow for some reason. I'm not getting much speed off these frags. That was much better, but now I hit the ground. Oh boy. Yeah, okay, so like 40 kilometers per hour, that's not bad. Oh boy. Okay, so we run through there, start the gauntlet again, exit out of it to skip some dialogue. Dialogue is actually very important in this game, and there will be a few audio cues that I have to take. So I will let you know when those happen, Mendez. And audio, like actually selecting the fastest dialogue option at certain points in the game is another feature. Has like sort of weird like little dialogue trees. They don't affect much, they're entirely there for show, but they're a lot of fun. And this is the Titanfall tutorial, I guess, where it teaches you how to drop a Titan. It's a single button, but there's a little glitch I can do here, and I really want to show it off. Hope I get a good one of it. So, let's just see if I can get this line up. Wait for 7. Maybe? Okay, yeah, that was decent. So if I land on the little icon on the ground there as the Titan is falling, he normally comes in from directly above and goes down. But if you land on it at like the right time, he comes in from a weird angle. So that's just a little fun thing that I like to do. So Yeah, so, okay, let me think here. So, I've covered slides, I've covered wall kicks. Double jumps are in this game, and that's why we can't just bind jump to scroll wheel, is that if we do that, we would burn our double jump immediately. So, the jumping in this game is very timing based. A lot of Source games, you do just sort of get to, like, spam the jump button, and you can't really do that in this game. So, all these characters that you're seeing, this is Lastimosa. He's a veteran pilot, and he's training us to be a pilot. That's his Titan, BT-7274. Keep him in mind, he's going to become very important not too long from now. This is Captain Cole, we all hate him. And this is the fun thing here. So, if you mash spacebar on those intermissions between levels... sorry, no, on that one and the one earlier that was telling you about your inverted controls, if you mash spacebar, it automatically picks the first option, which is just faster than picking, because otherwise it would have probably defaulted to running on regular difficulty. So we have the intro cutscene here. So now is the perfect time for the host to say something if they would like to.
Absolutely, I think it's the perfect time at the start of this run to mention the upcoming incentive, which is to save or kill the Marvin. That is currently $14 in favor of saving the Marvin. So if you want to get your donations in for that, if you want to decide to kill the Marvin, then yeah, definitely get your donations towards that as soon as possible.
As the runner, I highly recommend killing the Marvin because it saves 3 seconds. And it also spares the Marvin from a fate worse than death. So,
how far into the run is the decision?
That is about 50 minutes into the run, I would say. So I will tell you, like, at the start of the level where it takes place to maybe close the incentive then.
All right, but that is exactly how long you guys have got to get in your donations for that.
So we have just crash landed on the planet of Typhon. We are about to receive a load of drugs from the medical robot in the system. 250 milligrams of sansufentanil. Now, while sansufentanil is made up, fentanyl, I believe, is a real world painkiller, and that much of it was enough to kill an elephant, as far as I remember the science going. So. Anyway, this first little bit is important, so I want to make sure that I get this right. Make a quick save here. So even though we don't have a jump kit, we are able to do slide hopping here, because that is entirely based on our speed cap. So basically what I did there is I gained enough speed to enter a slide, and that skipped a little... That skipped having to wait for a crash landing pod that would come down. And if you're moving fast enough, but not... if you're moving fast, but not fast enough, you get hit by that and you instantly die. And it resets you a little bit, which really sucks because we're already like 6 minutes into the run. So Lastimosa there, he's just given us even more drugs. So I've got this little theory that, like, we don't actually survive this and that the rest of the game is just a fever dream of our dying brain, but, like, that's entering, like, creepypasta territory, so I'll just stay out of that for now. And this is the infamous 18-hour cutscene, which is the perfect time for me to explain things, or for more host to read anything that they would like to.
One thing that we've not mentioned in a while is exactly why we're doing this marathon. It is to benefit the wonderful people at Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. And 100% of your donations do go towards supporting Crisis. It's a very good cause, so again, fantastic reasons to get your donations in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, these guys are the Apex Predators. You may, if you've played Apex Legends, recognize Blisk as the guy who actually starts the Apex Championship tournament thing. The other ones, you don't actually see them ever again, and that's because in this game we kill all of them. Now, there are a specific number of bosses that we kill. I don't remember the number off the top of my head, because I was going to make a point about this, but we actually skip a boss in this run, but we end up killing the same number of the Apex Predators by the end of the run. And if you're interested in how that math works out, definitely stick around till the end. There was something that you do not want to miss. So, a couple of things I also should mention is that I'm playing on the highest FOV, so that's why you saw that Prowler slide in from the side of the screen there. Normally you don't get to see that. Because a lot of this stuff, like, the animations were done with the explicit intent of seeing them at the console FOV. But because we're on a PC, and I get to play on 100, I think it's 110, 140 FOV, because that's just how my brain works when I play FPS games, you can kind of see some bits of animation that you're not really intended to see otherwise. So I will try and point those out when they happen, because they're a lot of fun. So this is Lastimosa. He's dying. He didn't last very long. He did say that we're going to die on this planet, and he definitely dies on this planet. And, yep, but dead. He's gone. So, so instead of immediately taking his jump kit, we spend all this time building a little pile of rocks for him, because we needed him, I guess? I don't know, really. I really don't know. But now we have to go and get batteries for BT, because he does not come with batteries included. So we pop on this helmet, and this is where the run really takes off. So I'm going to make a quick save here, because there's a little trick here. So we jump backwards twice, and... Okay, I didn't get enough speed. There's a little wall that you can get a jump off of there, and if you get enough speed, you can immediately enter a slide without having to wait for your sprint to activate. And during this first section of the game, we do not have our double jump, which is very scary, because there are some big jumps we need to make, which, surprisingly... I don't actually know, like this jump here, that's like kind of close, but this jump is actually terrifying. Like, I have almost lost so many, like, runs of this specific level just to that. Right, okay, so this room, normally we're meant to go around the outside, but it's actually faster to just abuse our wall run mechanics, and just jump up the side there. And there's a very particular reason why that works, and it is kind of Source Engine jank. It's that if you when you jump off of a wall, right, you cannot go back onto that wall and continue jumping, which makes sense to me, right? I don't know how I managed. I hit the tree there. There's a lot of stuff I need to focus on right now, and talking is definitely one of them. So you jump off of a wall, and if you land on a wall that's at a different angle, you can immediately grab the wall again and start jumping off of it. That applies to the same wall that you just jumped off of if it is curved. We definitely abused that fact a few times throughout this run. And I do just want to say, I'm not the biggest fan of this level because of how accurate the geometry really is. You'll notice a lot of these small little bumps in the terrain do actually have collision hitboxes, and that really plays with you when you... Ideally, to go fast in this game, you want like flat, smooth ground, which makes sense. However, we can use that same uneven ground to do stuff like this. Okay, never mind. No, we can't. Okay, what happens there is if you land on a sloped surface at the right angle, I think, you do get a bit of a boost. Okay, yep. Decent frag there. Alright, and now I need to kind of focus for this one. I've been practicing this a lot, but I'm going to make another quick save just in case.
Power at 2/3. Data core reinitialized. Ocular system online.
Okay, that was decent enough. So that was river skip. That skips like a few seconds of going around, and it's a bit of a tricky jump. I really hope this frag doesn't kill me. Oh! Oh my god! Alright, I've never actually landed that before. So... I've been practicing that for so long, and I was so sure that one was going to kill me. So, frag boosts in this game, because now we're out of the gauntlet, frag boosts can kill you! And that's terrifying. So, I've been doing my best to practice those, but I'm just not the best at them. But that was like the perfect frag boost for that there. Unfortunately, I'm not the best at Ravine there. Okay, and then of course I missed a tiny little slide up, so... There was a time limit between, like, slides, before you can get the momentum back from like landing out of a run. So every time I sort of fail a slide, it's actually just better for me to like run for a few seconds and then attempt to go into a new slide, because overall that's just faster than like me trying to build up the speed again with how I'm not the best at the exact like intricacies of like the frame perfect or the tick perfect hops. Speaking of hops, actually though, this bit's fun. Because there's a ceiling there, it's actually just faster to mash spacebar, because like you get a small forward momentum boost when you hit the ceiling after a double jump. So if you can get your double jump off in a very low ceilinged area, you just get a bit of forward speed, and it's really nice. Okay, so now we return to BT with the second battery. Oh, okay, that's kind of sketch. I'm gonna take... Oh, wow, that was really sketch. See, I don't like the geometry in this level, because it's very strange, and it's organic, yes, but... okay, right, so we throw one grenade over here, one grenade up here. That didn't hit any of them, actually. And I ran out of grenades since I forgot to pick up some more. Okay, well, we're fighting them. Oh, you didn't die either! Wow, okay. That sucks. Okay, right. Then we install the battery. So, I think I've more or less explained everything about pilot movement, but I have not discussed Titan movement yet, because Titan movement is the other thing that this game is known for. So this is us. We're about to get the Titan tutorial, which takes a little while, and this first part is a bit slow because BT's rebooting. It's the same as the pilot tutorial just a bit earlier, where we were slowly gaining access to our things. BT will start with his Vortex Shield ability, then we'll get the Acolyte pods, then we'll get to move. So movement is like the last thing we get in this little section, which sucks, but hey.
Rifleman Jack Cooper, you are now confirmed as acting pilot of BT's.
So, important things to note, there's not really too much RNG in this game that's noticeable. There are some bits where it is noticeable, however, and that one of them is right here with the Vortex Shield. It's unless there's some consistent setup that I'm not aware of right now, it's sort of random whether or not the projectiles you absorb will actually hit the targets you're looking at. So that hit a weird number of them and left him alive. Then that time that hit him, but not another guy who was standing next to him. That hit only one of them. This is awful. Okay, right, I need to let it recharge for a bit. Okay, Acolyte pod. This is where it gets fun. I just hold Q and it starts to lock on automatically. That hit one of them again. I'm so mad at that. Of course, my luck has to be like this. That hit one of them. I don't like RNG. Is that obvious yet? I hope that's all of them. Okay, what was? Right, important?
We will have to fight our way to safety. Get ready.
Yeah.
Sure about this?
Give him a nose as well.
Yes.
No one gives him a nose. I don't know why. I'm like I think the only person who does that. Alright, so this is our first sort of Titan fight. This is Brute. We pop the electric smoke to make him run away. We shoot him until he puts up his Vortex Shield. Then we lock on with rockets.
I detect more IMC
Yeah, okay, right. Actually, audio cue here, so sorry, give me a second.
Survival is to uphold our mission of rendezvousing with Major Anderson. Until then, you and I are on our own. Marking your
Okay, I got it. So, audio cue there. So, if I dash into the waypoint too early, it will actually put it on the opposite side of the map, which sucks, really. Not good. Okay, so that was pretty decent BT. So now we're moving on to Blood and Rust. This bit starts off with some intense Titan movement, and I really hope I get this one trick that it's very small, but I really hope I get it because I would love to show it off. Okay, right. frames are getting a bit weird. That is entirely client side though. That's not the stream. Don't worry, if you are even noticing any. Dash here, and I hope I can do this. Yay! There we go. Tone slide. So because he was lower and we're on an elevated surface, I can like basically land on his head and slide across him. It's hilarious. And now we have the tone loadout. Hold on. Best audio in the game. Here. Listen to this.
A human's concept of love requires admiration, attraction, devotion, and respect. Conclusion.
50% in love is my favorite line in the game. And there is a lot of good BT lines. I will point some of them out when I can. One thing I didn't actually mention about Titan movement is that when you are... Sorry, another audio cue here I need to focus on. So, when you dash as a Titan, if you dash off of an elevated surface and you crouch, you basically get to maintain that dash speed for a little bit longer. Because you touch the ground later, which is where you would lose that dash speed. So every time we're moving at a Titan, we're going to be holding our dashes on... Well, we always want to be like building a dash, because it's just wastes time to not. And we always want to be dashing off of elevated surfaces. That was kind of sketchy, so I'm just going to take a safe route here. Oh wow, I bumped off of something. Someone in the chat is asking for a loadout explanation. So BT is a special type of Titan. He is a Vanguard class Titan. He does not appear in the multiplayer, unfortunately. The model does as the Monarch Titan, but not the actual ability. BT can swap between Titan loadouts on the fly, and you can think of the Titan loadout as a sort of like class that you would get in like, say, Overwatch or Team Fortress. BT's gimmick is that he can swap between them and their associated cores at any time. Cores play a big part later on in the run. Right now, it's just a lot of pilot movement through tight corners. We do a trick called tap strafing, which is normally whenever someone's telling you about source engine movement, they tell you the one thing you don't want to be doing when you're bunny hopping or like rocket jumping is to be holding forward. But what we can do is we can actually tap forward to give ourselves little 90-degree turns. It just works, like it keeps your momentum as much as it can. And right. So I'm setting up for a small, not a small, like it's a small trick, but it's a big time save, so. I'm gonna be stacking some audio lines here. Just to make sure that I get it in case I miss. So, missing me already. Activate this. Run up here. Okay.
Long time no see, BT.
On the contrary,
Gone.
your helmet provided me with a
All right.
feed of your actions.
This might go poorly.
You fought well out there, Pilot. The controls to deactivate the sludge flower in the next chamber, marking your HUD.
Okay, I got to him just in time. So, what's happening down in the actual area we're meant to be in is a big, long wave fight, which takes about 3 minutes if you do it really well. However, what I did is I kept BT in place by talking to him constantly, and that allows me to get up to where he is, the small, tiny ledge just beside him, and then I can embark onto him, and that lets me just go straight to the boss fight. So that is a big time save, and I really almost screwed it up. So, I'm very glad. And here's our first actual boss fight of the run. This is Kane. Kane is voiced exclusively better in Mandarin, which this game is normally running because it saves a few minutes over English. So the strat here is, with Tone, we get 3 locks on Kane, 3 locks on this guy here, and then we unleash a barrage into him. 1, 2, 3, and then I swap reload. Swapping between loadouts is just faster than actually reloading with Tone, because Tone's reload is just a bit slow. Core. I do that. Okay. And that's the Kane fight. So, now we take Kane's helmet. So, a lot going on there, but if you train yourself to actually see what's going on, it is a lot of moving parts to get stuff as fast as that, and that can be done so much quicker. You can do the fight better, you can do the skips better. Just the general movement. Like, this game gets fast when it gets going, and for now though, we are going to enter into one of my favorite levels. But before we do that, there's a bit of talking here. So, Mendez, if you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, well, I've got a little bit of exciting news. So, thanks to a $14 donation from Lazy Jogger Mum, it is now exactly tied between Kill the Marvin and Save the Marvin. So, anybody out there could be the decision maker. Get your donations in now.
I would like to shout out to my mum for making that donation. Thank you, Mum. So yes, please do get your donations in for that, because it's highly contested in the Titanfall 2 community itself. It is just explicitly faster to save him, but is it morally correct? You make that choice for us. So here, this is Into the Abyss. It is the first triple chapter level of the game. A lot of this first bit is almost exclusively Titan movement, and there is some cool stuff we can do. Just quickly swap to Scorch here. Dashing and crouching off of ledges is fast. And of course now we can hear the bad guys. We can hear the Apex Predators radio chat, which is really cool. So here we just jump off. I was holding onto a dash for a bit too long there, my mistake. So there's a bit of a trick. I'm really not the most consistent at it. It'll either happen or it won't, and I have no idea how to make it happen if I really wanted to. So we are going to store a dash here, keep storing our dashes, and hopefully... Yes, got it. Okay, right now I keep holding forward. There we go! Alright, so that... Getting in front of that little bit of the construction line allowed me to basically just be pushed forward throughout that entire room, and that is a very nice time save that saves. A decent bit of having to walk a long distance. You are way too far away. Normally you can catch all three of them with that core. So now we get the Brute loadout. Brute loadout is not in the multiplayer, it is exclusively the single player. Someone's asking, what happens if it's tied? If it's tied, I will kill the Marvin, because that is my personal preference. Now, this is a fun little time save here. So, BT gets captured, and this platform comes up. Okay, I press the button there, and then I drop down into the kill plane. Because we press the button, the kill plane is gone, and we can land in the loading trigger for the next level a little bit sooner than going down the lift. So that was Into the Abyss 1. This is Into the Abyss 2. Now, this is an auto-scroller, because we are basically waiting on the construction line to advance for us to make it to things. But that doesn't mean that we can't go fast and have some fun while we're doing it. So, if I do this well, I want people in the chat to make their votes now, red or blue. And if you guess correctly, you have all rights to just drag the team that loses, right? Has that clipping box happened before? Yes, it's entirely visual. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to drop down here, and I'm also going to pick up the Spitfire. It is a secret tool that will help us later. Okay, you know what? I'll wait here for a little bit. So this is a fun little trick here. So this will teach us about the conservation of momentum on platforms. In that if you jump off of a platform, it conserves your momentum in that direction. We abuse this a fair bit, Okay, so this is not out of bounds, technically, because this is a bit of geometry that exists within the level. We just take it to go around, and it is just easier and a bit faster, even though this is technically still an auto-scroller. It doesn't save time, but it's definitely more fun to just show that this is an option. And if I don't mess it up, then it does us some wonders for this section. Alright. So while we're waiting for the construction line to keep up with us, we take out these guys, let the ticks explode. I need to be a bit fast about this. Shoot him. Oh no. That might have ruined things. Those ticks exploded a little bit close to the guy I wanted to keep alive. No, he's still good. He's still alive. It's fine. Alright. And you, sir, you die. Right. Okay, so this is going to be blue. The other one is going to be red. So hopefully, they start shooting at each other. Because we didn't hack that robot, and we did hack this one. Where did he go? They're close. They're getting close. Oh, they're fighting. Blue wins! So, yep, blue team, you guys are the victors this time around. Very glad I got to actually show that off properly, and oh no. I'm not gonna lie, that has happened to me before. Doesn't make it any less embarrassing. So, glad it saved. I'm glad it saved where it did, because I mean, I've lost time on this level now as a result of that, but it's fine. Blue team won once. I'm sure they'll do it again. This is the rematch. This is round 2. Entirely planned. That is red. Okay, so round 1, blue won, and round 2, red won. So everyone's a winner. There we go. I've salvaged it. We have a bit of time before the next trick if, Mendez, you'd like to say anything.
I just love everyone being a winner. That's fantastic. Best possible result. Also, thank you very much to ESA for supporting this marathon, helping us by providing their channel for streaming, sharing gear, technical assistance, and sponsors. ESA's next event is going to be coming up from the 14th to 21st of February. That is ESA Winter 2021. So mark your calendars for that.
Excellent. Right, so this next trick is called Dome Skip, where we skip to the dome. Oh no, sorry, this is Dome Launch. Dome Skip is when we skip the dome. So Ash is going to start being really condescending.
I see you, pilot.
No, you don't.
I admire your perseverance.
And a little bit of an audio cue here, but it's also a visual cue, so give me a second. This might take a few attempts.
There's only one way out, pilot.
That'll do. No, it won't. Okay. That happens. Okay, visual cue now.
The dome is still
That's even higher. That is even higher.
rest assured I will not.
Okay, right. Well, I'll use the old climb strat. So basically, if I hold directions whilst I'm on that bit of, like, I was taking the line up there because like that determines how high you get launched up. I didn't get launched up high enough, either due to my timing or to the actual angle. But you can basically the objective of this little section is to get to that point there, and now we get to jump back onto the moving platforms. So, yeah, ideally you don't die to that, but it is entirely possible if you get the wrong height that you do just get crushed by the bit that's moving in to begin with. But this is actually my favorite skip in the game because there's a lot of history to it. So, this is about to be another wave fight. We don't like wave fights. They're slow. So what we want to do is we want to get outside of the dome as soon as we can, so we can leave. And the fastest way to get outside of the dome is to walk to this corner, crouch, and go through the wall. That is known by the guy who made this level. In fact, it was him who told the Titanfall 2 speedrun community that it existed. He didn't tell us where it was, he told us that it existed. Which I absolutely love. So, we're gonna get a little launch here. So, this is where Titanfall 2 actually really shines in terms of game dev, and like, as a game dev myself, I do really like to nerd out about this, is that the use of teleportation in this game is flawless and seamless. You never know that it exists. But essentially, what happens is, you're put in that dome, and then you would get teleported to an adjacent one that is similar, but is different so that they can actually load stuff in and have more stuff move about. But what we do is we go outside the dome and we position ourselves above where the load trigger for the next level is going to be, so that when it teleports us, we get dropped onto the load trigger for the next level, effectively skipping another wave fight, which is incredible because that second wave fight is even longer than the first. At least according to my casual playthrough of this game. I've never actually seen someone try and speedrun that one. Though there is a glitchless category for this game, I'm sure. Oh, we missed that. Okay, right. We're just gonna go slow. Oh no, not gonna go slightly faster. Okay, so ideally you can get inside the, this spinning thing before it starts to spin around like that, but I was a bit slow there. Okay, we'll climb this way. Why am I not grabbing this? Okay, there we go. So that was dome skip, where we go out of bounds, like explicitly out of bounds. That's why I had to specify that the little platform in Into the Abyss 1 was not out of bounds. However, if you've ever been out of bounds, just like, say, you've activated no clip in Team Fortress, and you've ever been properly out of bounds in a Source game, this next area is about to look very familiar to you. I do want to warn you, if you're not a fan of trippy visuals, that this is where the game starts to get a bit weird. But I promise you, it's over in a flash. Without there being an actual flash, I should mention that no epilepsy warning just yet. But then again, like, I'm sure most speedruns really do come with an epilepsy warning as part and parcel, really, but you know what I mean. So, we run up this way, and this trick is very weird to explain. So I'm just gonna do it. So, we VTOL hover to get up here on this pipe, cross this little ring here, and brace yourselves. Hop back into BT. Fly up here, around the outside. Oh, no. Okay. And now I'm going to avoid a cutscene trigger by running on this razor's edge. Dash once here. And then drop down here. Drop down here. And back into BT. VTOL hover again. And we are now at the end of the level. The end level trigger is always active, so we just skip the boss fight, and we avoid killing Ash. That is Ash skip, and it involves standing on a place where BT and Cooper cannot be at the same time, disembarking so it teleports you to the nearest area that you both can stand on, which happens to be out of bounds, and then remaining out of bounds until we hit the level trigger. I don't know if there's a way back inbounds once you've done that. So, this is effect and cause. If you've played this game casually, this will be the level that you remember the most fondly. And it is honestly, this is a masterclass in game design. So, time is getting weird and all wibbly-wobbly, which is the scientific term for it. And it is our job to just navigate the time swaps. So this is the past, where everything is nice and, like, brand new looking. And this is the present, where everything has been destroyed. So we constantly... so in the present, there are prowlers, and there's these weird big dinosaur things. I have no idea. Like big pterodactyls. The entire time, we've been trying to catch up to Major Anderson, and to rendezvous with him. This is Major Anderson. He is stuck in the floor. There is no point in time where that floor doesn't exist. So how does he get stuck halfway between it? We call it the Anderson paradox. No one really knows why or how. So now we have his helmet, which contains all of his mission data on it, and we give it to BT. And there's a bit of talking that goes on here, so I'm going to set up for the next trick. You, Mendez, if you'd like to take it away with anything.
I just want to say we're still tied on the incentive, so yeah, we've not done initiative from that yet. This is in case anybody's just tuned in. This is the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering. Normally, we are a 2-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year in Glasgow, Scotland. But due to the situation with COVID-19, we are bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours. And yeah, what an exciting speedrun watching at the moment.
So, just... Okay, right. So, BT, this is like, there's a hologram stuff going on down there. We can't really see it from this distance. That was Major Anderson getting his,
Pilot, the data Major Anderson collected appears to be incomplete.
getting his briefing from Sarah Briggs, who has, like, one of the worst times on the gauntlet. You can actually beat her without jumping, which is really funny.
What are we supposed to do?
Our mission has been updated.
So there's a very... It's a visual cue here, and I really hope I get this, because it looks cool if I do. So he's going to throw that lamppost up to there, and there's going to be a zip line attached to it. Don't know how that got there, it just is. And we grab it at the top of the zip line, and we are in. Which is it's just a nice little time save, and a very cool trick in general. So now time is going to get a bit strange, and this is where I should start talking to you about how time swapping works in this game. I would try and demonstrate it here. Nope, I missed it. Okay, so this is the thing. Scripted movement through doors, you can walk through them. I have no idea why that actually is. And there's a trick here that I want to go for. I'm going to set up a quick save as soon as time swaps here, and I'm only going to go for this a few times because this is very difficult. Ah, okay, right. Missed it first time. Missed it the second time. I'll go for it one more time, and if I don't get it, then I'm just going to keep going. Ah, okay, no, we didn't get it. So if you are able to conserve your momentum from swapping time... Okay, so when time swaps back and you're in a laser grid, it pushes you out with a lot of force. And if you can conserve the momentum, you can go through this tunnel very fast and you can actually get ahead of the scripted time sequences. If you go too slow, you get soft-locked, which is hilarious fun. But yeah, that was Effect and Cause 1. Now, in Effect and Cause 2, we gain the ability to swap time on itself. Sorry, by ourselves. So, we take it off of Anderson. There's a little happy face on his ammo pack there. Blink and you miss it, basically. Now it's gone. And this is possibly the most famous level in the game. We swap time back and forth. And to simplify how this level is constructed, it's basically been duplicated and, okay, I need to remember, it is the past is above the present, right? Yeah, the coolest tooltip of all time, press mouse button to time travel. There is actually a hidden animation, little secret thing that they added in where you do the OK hand gesture. I don't know if I'll ever get it, but... Okay, oh, whoops, I missed it. Oh, wow, okay, that really sucked. Okay, so... as I was saying, so going between time here, the present is on the bottom, and the past is a mirror image of it on the top. I can best demonstrate it here when this starts to play. So you see his name is above his head. We swap time, it's still there. Swap time back, and we look down, his name is down there. We swap time, and we look down, his name isn't there, but now it's up there. That's because both of these holograms are playing at the same time, because they can't go out of sync with each other. Watch for the T-pose. T-pose. So, yeah, that is going to be useful information to know for a skip that I have in the next level. Right. So, Mindus, if you'd like to say anything quickly before I have to do this audio cue here.
No, nothing from me right now.
Okay, well, fair enough. So, this is going to be set up for a frag boost. If I get this, I'm going to make a quick save just in case.
This one's empty. The arc must be somewhere else. Anderson out.
Oh, I didn't get any kind of boost from it. It's fine. So, like, you get, like, frag boosts. Like I say, frag boosts are, like, quite scary in the main campaign because, you're not invincible. This room is really cool. Okay, right, I messed that up a bit. I'm not going to give you the full rundown of the space-time continuum, but that's how it works in this universe. Okay, that was scuffed. Oh no, I didn't get it. Okay, right. This is actually a new trick recently found, where if you are moving at speed and you. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna bother going for it again. I don't know how to properly set it up. If you land on that while it's extending, you actually get a momentum boost in the other direction for some reason. And I can't explain why because I do not know. Swirly? Yeah, we got good swirly. Hop down here. So that's the end of Affecting Cause 2, however, we're not done with Time Swap just yet. In fact, you know what, actually, Rebel, I know you're on tech for this one. You're an anime fan, you've heard of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I'm sure. Anyone else who is familiar with it? This is going to seem familiar. In that we are going to stop time using this thing. By confusing the game to such a degree that it just kind of gives up. So, I sing this game's praises about how well this teleportation, it's just essentially, it's teleportation up and down, and it is done super well. However, it falls apart when I do this. Okay, nope. Failed it 3 times. There we go. Alright, 4th time got the part. So, it now thinks we're in the past when we are actually in... No, sorry, it thinks we're in the present when we're actually in the past. So every time I press the thing, it's going to teleport up. Because it doesn't think we're in this timeline, all of the enemies are frozen. Because the things aren't meant to move when you're not in that timeline. So we essentially use that to clip through a wall by essentially teleporting up, moving forward, and then teleporting back down once we're on the other side of the wall. And then, yeah, the set piece with time is actually frozen. It looks much cooler. There is, like, a really cheeky fast strat for this, but I am nowhere near good enough for it. Like, barely anyone is, and it is insane. So, shoutouts to Orb. This is the arc, the main MacGuffin of the campaign, if you will. And it's our job to find out what it does, what they're planning to do with it, space-time folding in on itself, yada yada. Basically, the plot is basically Star Wars, because what they're trying to do, the IMC is trying to make a weapon that destroys planets. and we are the rebels, and we are trying to stop them. If that sounds familiar, it's because it is.
Pilot, scan complete. As Anderson discovered, the IMC intends
So,
to destroy the militia plant
got a bit more time for this next one. The oxygen is frozen too. Yeah, that's fair. So we have a bit of time before the next level starts proper. So, Mendez, if you'd like to say anything.
Oh, we've got a little bit more time. I'm going to thank another of our supporters, BSG. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands. They've supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past sessions, among other things. BSG is celebrating their 5-year lustrum soon on February 27th and 28th. And BSG Online 4 submissions open up on Sunday if there's speedrunners out there that want to submit some runs for that. And all those events are streamed on this very channel, so you won't need to go very far to watch them at all. Thank you, everybody, for your donations, subscriptions, and everything that you've done so far this marathon. It's been really good.
Excellent. That is amazing. So, we are now entering the Beacon. The Beacon, Effect and Cause, Into the Abyss was a 3-chapter level. Effect and Cause is the 3-chapter level. This is our final 3-chapter level, and it houses our Marvin that we have to save or kill. I believe that the bid will still be even for that right now. So, if you want to save this Marvin's life, because I am going to kill him if it is a tie, please get your donations in now, because you will not have much longer. So what we're about to do is the reason that we picked up the Spitfire earlier is that we are going to kill a bunch of enemies before we're meant to in order to try and skip as much dialogue as we can. There's like varying degrees of how well this skip works based on how efficient you are. That didn't look like a very good start to it, so this might not be the best skip of this you've ever seen. So to just like shoot them in like their weak spot, I'll have to reload, which sucks. Okay, that's all of them.
Caution. I detect traces of poisonous chemicals within the fog.
And now we get back to BT without dying to the fog, because the fog is poisonous and electric somehow. Why is he over there? BT? Why are you over there? He's never done this before. This is new. This might crash to menu. This might crash to menu. I don't know. It didn't. It froze for a second there. It's being weird. It's being weird. I've genuinely never seen that before. I've never seen the Pathfinder do that. So that's of course that happens during a marathon run. So that actually did save a bit of time though. Not him running away. That lost time. But we got a good enough skip where the door was open by the time we got there, which is really nice. You'll have noticed that like a bunch of dialogue lines were trying to play over each other. So this is what he's asking for. It's the arc tool. Theirs is broken. There is a Marvin in here that has one, and we need it off of him. So the question is, unless there's been any donations in the past, what, 30, 40 seconds? What are we doing?
It is still a tie.
It is still a tie, right?
It is still a tie. That means it is runner's choice.
In that case, I am going to... It's runner's choice. You know what? You know what? Because like so many people were... I mean, I don't know. It's like it's faster, but it's also like, you know what? We'll do both. I will do both. I am going to make him sad, and then I'm going to put him out of his misery. It's going to lose even more time, but that's what we get for putting it up to a donation bid war and it going even. So this really is just the run. Someone said it earlier, this is just the run of everyone wins. Except for the IMC, of course. We deal with them rather quickly.
This is the mythical third option, then.
Yeah, we've actually managed to find the third option twice, which this... I wouldn't have thought would ever happen, but hey, here we go. So both sides are getting what they wanted, because I'm nothing if not a crowd pleaser. Or well, I guess ultimately one side is getting what they want, but like the other side is also getting to see what they wrought. Okay, so there is a way of skipping this section. However, I'm nowhere near good enough to actually do it. So I just don't, because it's it's like the hardest skip in the game to do kill room skip, and that involves this little grenade launcher here, which we are just going to use like to give us some little bits of speed here and there. I missed. I completely missed. Because a very close range shot from one of this isn't going to kill you instantly, so it can be used for as many frag boosts as you want, so long as you haven't taken any damage. I don't know why my momentum decided to go all the way up there, but that's just what happens. So, here we go.
We did just get a $30 donation just after I closed it to kill the Marvin.
$30! Oh, well, hell yeah. Bye!
Thank you so much to Guelph.
Oh, no. I missed the click. That's fine. So, yeah. That was... So, thank you. Thank you so much. $30. That's incredible.
Just in the nick of time.
I am
wow.
very, very glad. Because that Marvin gets so sad and it breaks my heart every time I see him being kept alive. So, both sides put up a good fight. And ultimately, I did have to go back on my word, but hey, for the money, for the charity, we killed him for a good cause. Now, this trick's very strange, and I am actually getting quite good at that. So, that involves a lurchless wall jump, in order to get enough speed to cross that gap and essentially skip a like sort of 20-second puzzle in that little room that we skipped, which is really nice. So I'm glad I can get that consistently now. So lurch is a weird mechanic because it's when you double jump if you're holding a button, a directional button other than forward ideally. You lurch in that direction. So to get a lurchless wall jump, it's like it's very complicated. You'd be better off watching Brian Otto's advanced movement guides, which are fantastic, by the way, for any level of play, especially if you're gonna like be trying to just go really hard on the multiplayer. It is such a good resource. So we killed the Marvin. We got his gun. We didn't end up losing any time from it, which is really nice, and I'm very happy that that came in at the last possible second. Now we're going to go and turn on the nuclear reactor, or a nuclear generator. We're constantly warned about how dangerous nuclear reactors are, and that our suit will not protect us for very long. However, it is literally impossible to die in this room unless you throw a grenade at your own feet. So... But still, we go through this as quickly as you can because you know, we don't want to risk it. 3, 2, 1. All right. So the mechanic of the arc tool is that it turns green things red. Specifically, these little lights. That's what we needed it for in terms of lore, but we do keep it throughout the rest of the level, and we make good use of it as well. So, the beacon is now up and running, and now is a good time for host to take over for a bit.
Yeah, well, thank you for everybody that donated towards that incentive. Obviously, coming in with a very, very last-minute kill there.
That was a close race.
Absolutely. So we're raising money to support Crisis. Charity supporting people at homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. So in addition to these extremely clutch incentives and dramatic moments, we're also going to a fantastic cause as well. So it's all good.
Excellent. So this is the skip that if you watch the hype trailer, and you got to the Titanfall 2 segment, this is the trick that I want to land first time. Now, I can't do the full version of this trick because I can go about halfway with this trick, and that's like the best I can do decently consistently. But what we're about to witness is Cooper being thrown farther than any Major League Baseball has ever been pitched. If I don't accidentally press the wrong button first, that would help.
Transferring controls to
So we hover, we get locked, we get caught there, and now we have enabled low gravity because we disembarked while we were hovering, which we're not meant to be able to do. This affects the net. This affects the net set piece quite in a aggressive way.
My scans detect a functioning
So
uplink
BT is meant to
target
throw us to there.
128
We're meant to go over there.
Lie down.
He's going to end up actually throwing us about there all the way. If you can see where I was
Throw you
pointing.
across the gap.
I am going to have to set up a quick save, and I do expect to have to do this a couple of times because it is decently tricky.
Win.
So I apologize if I don't get this first try.
Range
But ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing entertainment,
9 kilograms.
Super Fastball.
Trust me.
Oh, wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Alright.
IMC dropships headed to your location.
Alright, there we go. So I can get about halfway across the map consistently, and doing it second time is absolutely fine. So, yep, like, put your yeets in the chat because that is absolutely worthy of them. That's only possible because of 3 things going into that. The fact that when BT throws you, it's not like a set distance that you go. It's actually, you get launched as a physics object, technically speaking. Not only that, of course, with our reduced gravity, with our reduced gravity, we go higher and further because we just do, and a frame perfect jump by just holding the jump button as we go from his hand. And we use a Gravstar here for a Gravstar launch. Okay. That was okay. That was fine.
The module is in the projector of that dish.
How did I manage that? How did I manage that? I jumped over it and I just stopped paying attention. All right. We did the Gravstar again. That's not good enough. Okay, right. Wow. This is, of course, after doing that second try, I start to flub here. There we go. That was good. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. How am I managing this? How am I managing this? Reduced gravity can work in any other part of the game, including multiplayer, actually. You do need to be using the North Star Titan, which has the hover ability, and I don't know why I'm messing this up so much. Okay, I'll go for the slightly different lineup here. Okay, yeah. That was a bit of a shame. I lost a lot of time there, but it's fine. So now we make the return trip. Yeah, so reduced gravity, that glitch, if you get your head stuck on an object while you're in hover and you disembark because you can't ascend any further. I don't know why it works, I just know that it does. You leave the Titan with 15% reduced gravity, which is really cool. Which allows us to make jumps like that, which would otherwise be impossible. And also to make jumps that are way too big for what they need to be, like that. It's midnight, and I've been super stressed about this run for so long. Please give me a break. I'm doing the best I can here. It's fine, we don't need to hit all of them anyway. If you gain enough speed, you can, which you can do from a Gravstar launch off of the thing. You can actually skip using the zipline, which is really cool. Oh, we didn't save that guy from getting stomped into nothingness. And okay, I didn't mean to hold E there. I meant to hold W. And this is like sort of the first But really, like the second actual fight that we have to do in the story, it is just faster to punch all the stalkers.
Good shot.
We have acolyte pods here. Switch to ignition. How did that miss? How did that miss? I've never seen it miss twice at that range before. That was incredible. Where are you? Where are you? You're here. You're here. You die. You die. All right. Hop out the Titan. Going back into the Titan doesn't actually make us lose the glitch. We don't lose the glitch until the end of the level. Or, well, in multiplayer, it will be you lose it when you die and respawn. But, right now we're just clearing out enemies. Okay, right, that big bassy thud that we heard means that all the enemies have been clear, and it's also safe for us to start doing this! This is not the intended way of going up here. It is entirely possible. You'll also notice that my webcam is shaking a lot because of how hard I'm mashing. I do apologize for that. Alright.
Protocol 2 mission update.
Let's throw some grenades down here.
The socket for the module is at the top of this dish. A throw combined
So
with
we
additional
replace the
parts
module. And you'll notice that these grenades haven't exploded yet. There's something with this surface where grenades from the softball and grav stars don't go off until they hit the floor below, which we're about to do. Invisible.
Got you.
And he still caught us. That should have broken our backs. We should be dead again, but still. And now we get fireworks! Hey, fireworks! I'm always worried about doing that because there was the AGDQ, I believe it was 2019 run, or it was either AGDQ or SDGQ, where Brian Otto did that, and his game almost crashed entirely. And no, I don't think anyone's ever been able to replicate that. I've never seen any discussion of it, so... Anyway, this is the Richter fight. There's a few waves of enemies first that we have to clear out.
Lock down the control room.
Okay, that was good. Switch to tone. So we look over here, the next enemies will spawn where we look. Ideally. Wow, that was perfect tone there. Did you survive? Okay,
Caution.
right, that's them dealt with, and now we
Hostile Titan.
look over here. Has that worked? Yes, they are. 2 Titans will spawn here. A Brute and a Ronin. Now, it is entirely possible to accidentally get the Superman Brute glitch, which I really hope happens later on, but not right now, because it really sucks to happen here. Okay, well, reload. Stop running away! Where are you going? Thank you. Okay, so now we switch to Scorch. And see these little turrets that are shooting at enemies? This is Richter. He's gonna step out of his Titan and they're going to stop shooting! It's I know why, but it's still. Would it kill them to, no, it would kill him to have them keep shooting, but still. So we don't like Richter. So now we switch to Ronin once he's in this state, and that was a quick Richter kill. That was quite good for me, I think. And that is the Beacon Chapter 3. We kill Richter, we reset the dish, all these guys start warping because they just couldn't program walk cycles into them for some reason. And we broadcast the message to the rest of the guys at the Rebels, and we basically asked them for support. So, a bit more of a cutscene here before the next level actually starts. So, Mendez, if you have anything you'd like to say or add or ask even, feel free.
This is BT-727.
One thing I haven't mentioned in a while is the upcoming incentives as well. Obviously, we've got a lot of incentives for Day 3.
Oh, yes.
Starting off with a campaign select for Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. You can either have the Fiona campaign or the Godric campaign. At the moment, the Godric campaign is winning, but there's only $5 in it. One of the other big incentives tomorrow is the closing ceremony, Tuxedo 2 Closing Boogaloo, where everybody in the closing ceremony will be dressed up to the nines in their formal wear. We need $300 for that. We currently have a total of 112.
Please do donate for that. I want to see it.
Oh, definitely.
He had no other options.
Understood. We'll get you transferred.
Yeah, to answer your question in chat, yes, this is actually the latest PC release of the game. No down patching is required to get to the speedrun of this game. And there's actually a few really cool things that prevent us from having to do that, is that the developers fully support speedrunning of this game. In fact, there were some multiplayer weapon balance updates. Namely, I think they nerfed the EVA shotgun, which we had been using primarily throughout this run. And they nerfed it to the point where it was actually less effective in the campaign as well. And when Respawn devs caught wind of the fact that the shotgun, which was the primary weapon for the speedrun, had been affected negatively, they reverted the change for single player only, which is a really cool gesture, and I absolutely love developers that will listen to communities and make really specific changes like that. So this next level is Trial by Fire. It is 100% Titan gameplay, and it is the third last level. The last three levels are genuinely the most annoying in the campaign, each for their own reason. This one, it's because of Sarah here's AI. I have lost 5 minutes to it in practice runs just because she stopped moving, and I couldn't get her to move until I reset twice. But this is a fun one. So all these Titans landing, it's so cool. It's all cinematic and epic and all that. But what I'm gonna do? There are these cannons on this wall, and it's preventing us from approaching. But I have sword block and I have phase dash, so I can just kind of walk up to the wall and walk through it because it doesn't have a hitbox because they don't expect you to get this close. Okay, now we switch to Scorch. And I just start wrecking shot. Punch. So I am waiting for a specific audio cue. I'm waiting for Sarah to say, "Pilot, you're with me." I think it's you have to kill a certain number of enemies, but I don't actually know what the proper number is. L4 is the one before. Come on. L4 again. This guy might help. This guy will definitely help. Scorch is just the best for this level because he does so much burst DPS. It's incredible. No, still not. Still not, really? Okay. Alright, she wants us to kill some more. Oh, no, there we go. She killed it herself. Okay, so I can switch to Ronin here. And just deal with them. So I need to be dealing with as many Titans as I can, because, hell, Sarah herself will get caught up on infantry if I'm not careful. So just doing this and killing as many of them as I can, as soon as I can, is generally just better. And stomping a couple of infantrymen along the way isn't too bad either. I'll switch to Scorch for the other Scorch. And I want to keep core here. I would use core on these guys otherwise, but I need core for like the next segment of this, so I'm keeping that with me. Okay, I'll switch to Ronin for you. Bang. And you. Bang, bang, bang. Stay in Ronin in order to Naruto run through the game. You're actually not too far off from what I'm about to do. The reason that we keep core is so that we can stay with Ronin. And his ability, his sword core, is that he pulls out his sword, and his dashes replenish super quickly, so he can basically just constantly dash, essentially Naruto running everywhere. So, what I do first is I switch to Brute. Sarah, that was not the easy part. She actually played nice enough. So we switch to this to hopefully I get this timing right. Yes, I do. Okay, then I switch to Ronin once I land, and now we start Naruto running. If you have any anime OSTs playing over the top of this, they will be more apt now than ever. So long as we don't swing our sword, the core drains at the normal rate, and we don't really lose any. This is just incredibly fast, so now we've lost core, so we just have to get it back as soon as we can. And this guy here, tone time. Alright. And now we get core again, and we just start dashing more. Like, whoever, yeah, Marley F22, you were not wrong. Metal Gear Revenge, yeah, you know what, not wrong either. This is basically a big high freak. Okay, so there's a chance that Superman Brute happens in this game if you just look at the upper half of the screen, and I hope it happens because it's really funny when it does. No, it didn't happen. Oh, it happened! Yay, Superman Brute, there he is! So, that happens when a Brute tries to land on you and he just goes launching forwards. I don't know why, I don't know how. It happened, I'm happy. And that is Trial by Fire. That was a decently quick Trial by Fire. That's actually, like... I've got my own timer up here. I know this isn't a valid run because I am using quick saves, but that might well be a PB for that level, so I'm happy about that. This next level, though. I did mention earlier that RNG does not play a very big part in this game. Well, I lied. I lied because this level, oh my god. So, think about the Source Engine and how momentum conservation works. If you're moving left and right on a platform and you jump, you go that same amount left or right as though you had been running in that direction. Of course, you can then run as well and all that. So, you'll notice that this level is taking place in the sky, so it's basically just like a little trick. Like, these are all platforms and it's just the background that's moving by. However, to add that little bit of extra authenticity, the platforms themselves sort of like move and like yaw and pitch ever so slightly. And that has major effects on how we move through this level, and all of it is random. Okay, well, it's random within limits. Like, obviously, like, there are some, like, animations, like, us going this side of the thermoplay here, but it is random platform movements in certain cases, and at times it actually makes certain skips physically impossible to do. So, there are two skips right back to back here at the very start of this level. I'm going to quick save. That's why I have to do quick saves here, because if I were to keep attempting these until I get them, I would lose so much time. This would be well over 2 hours if I did. So also, I want to point out on top right-hand corner, we're not meant to be able to see BT. He's just waving. Hi, BT. He's going to wave again. Hi, BT. Yeah. Okay. So this is Barker's skip. We land on Barker's ship, voiced by Liam O'Brien, by the way. So Matt Mercer and Liam O'Brien are in this game. I bet you didn't know that. So, this is my lineup here. I get on... Okay, right. Audio cue.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT, we need a fastball.
That didn't work. Okay.
Commander Briggs, this is
Let me wait for him to cross now.
We can get him there. BT, we need a fastball.
Copy that, 6-4. You can do this, Cooper.
Oh, okay, well... No, I want to show it off. I want to show it off at least working once.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT, we need a fastball.
Copy that, 6-4.
Okay, no. Yeah, no, okay. It's not gonna work. I've officially missed it, and because I reset the checkpoint that I made, it's now I don't think it's possible because
Copy that, 6-4.
by the time he's in position, BT's hand is there. So, yeah, unfortunately we have to do this, which, okay, this does prevent a small glitch later on in the level, but, it's fine. So I want to put at BT's feet here. He should absolutely have fallen off. So basically what what would have happened there is we would have frag boosted over to the 6-4 early, but we still have 6-4 skip if I'm lucky, where I can hopefully jump off and jump here. No, okay, that was close. I have faith. Because I'm moving, because the 6-4 is moving forwards, and oh no, it's actually not possible. Hold on. Oh, it worked. It worked. Okay, that was early. That was fast. That was fast 6-4. So basically, just jumping off using their own momentum before we're told to jump off. Basically, just like saving some time. So I'm glad I got that at the very least, because that one's also entirely random, and there is a fall timer in this game where if you are descending for too long, the game just instantly kills you, even if you're standing on solid ground, which, because of the random platform movement in this level, does just happen sometimes. You can be like waiting for a cutscene to finish playing and you will just die, and sometimes you get a checkpoint right before that happens, and it is awful and it is the worst. Okay, so we have to clear out. So we don't actually have to clear out the 3 gun batteries. We only have to clear out the 3rd one. Who does Mercer voice? He voices the main character, us. So we take the Mastiff here for later. So, okay, so there, that's Matt Mercer's voice right there. Okay, so Briggs is gonna come up here, and we're gonna jump on top of her a bit early. Hopefully not hitting a kill plane or hitting the invisible fall timer. Wait for her to level out, and then we jump ourselves off. I think I made it. I did. All right. 3rd grenade there. Okay, now I need to find a fire star. One of these guys has one. He had 3 grenades. Okay, right, let's just throw grenades at the guys in the shield because they are annoying and obnoxious. I'm gonna go invisible just to not be targeted while I go and do this. So, basically this room clear is, like, the 6-4 are assisting you. They did the rest of the level normally. And we are essentially just trying to... Wow! Okay. I never slid down the stairs like that before. So I have to kill certain enemies. They are scripted to kill certain enemies, and then their AI will just take over. So room's clear. And then we get to do, then of course the mandatory big AAA first-person shooter. I'll start their animation a bit sooner. It's kind of funny that I can do that. The breach and clear segment of the game. This is not a mechanic. It's just a set piece. And then we get to drive the ship using a knife.
I'm ready.
So, you might have noticed during Effect and Cause that we stabbed a computer console with a knife. That is our data knife, and it is a plot device. So now we just stab it into the ship, and now we have control over it like a joystick. There is quite literally nothing this thing can't do. It's useful. It's never really brought up again. Okay, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. Give it. Okay, there we go. Oh, boy. Okay, so... Oh, the tilt of this ship is worrying me. So there's a chance I might just die here because of how far down it thinks I'm going for too long. Okay, no, it's pulling back up. Okay. So, I don't think he's had his runs yet, but you heard his voice earlier. Unfortunately, we are going to kill Viper. This is Viper. He's really cool. And in real life, too. Nice guy. Still gonna kill him, though. Unfortunate, though. That's just how it is. Speedrunning is a cutthroat business. These Scorches are incredibly obnoxious to deal with, but once they're gone, I can then focus on Viper himself. Alright, 1, 2, core, Q, swap reload, 1, 2, 3. Core actually missed, by the way. Huh. Okay, no, the core came back around and hit him in the back. So, right, so that's the Viper fight, almost.
Cooper, ready for fastball.
BT is going to fastball us one final time,
Adjusting for wind resistance. Calculating.
but of course, you can't keep a good man down. I think it is also ironic that, like, Viper has, like, the fastest Titan, and of course, our Viper is the one who does all the racing games, so shoutouts to Viper. We just saw the best caption there, just screams in square brackets. Okay, now this is a little bit random if it works or not, but I hope I can get it in only a couple of shots without having to reload. So he's gonna jump, we jump too. There we go, okay, that was good. So we kill Viper quite quickly there.
BT, what's the plan?
And then we have to go and actually get the Arc from its containment cell. BT has now lost an arm. We're not in the best of shape. All those missiles that Viper fired at the end there have effectively destroyed the ship. There's BT's arm, by the way. You want to go grab that, Nate? Nah? Okay, sure. We drop down here. We go and... yeah, this is essentially just like... this bit's an auto-scroller, almost. So while we're doing this, Mendez, is there anything you'd like to say? Actually, Mendez, you've got a lot of time to speak right now, because there is about to... there is about to be a very long cutscene. So anything you'd like to say, please say it now.
Alright, well the first thing I want to say is Viper's actually doing some runs tomorrow, so if you could like leave him at least in one piece, that'd be appreciated.
I did leave him in one piece. He may be a bit holier than he was before.
Alright, well, as long as he can still do the run tomorrow, it's fine. Alright. Well, in that case, this is probably a good time to mention that we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training and support with housing, employment and health. 100% of your donations will be going to supporting Crisis. And here's more about what they do in their own words. We offer one-to-one support, advice and courses for homeless people in 12 areas across England, Scotland and Wales. And if you want to get updates for when our marathons actually go live, because we do 4 events a year, and when your favourite runs are coming up, follow us on Twitter at UKSG Marathon. And if you use the hashtag UKSG Winter 2021, you might be featured on stream.
Excellent, thank you. So, we were in the ship, we got locked off from our escape route, and unfortunately the ship has crashed, and in this picture here we've been captured by the IMC. There's BT being hauled away legless. He's lost an arm, he's lost a leg. I've just realized that like it would be like the prime opportunity for him to also still have the sword and for him to start referencing the Black Knight from Monty Python, but go ahead with that. This is the final level of the game, and unfortunately it starts with a long cutscene. There's General Martyr over there. Definitely not a subtle hint to what he does in his name, Martyr. And actually, my favorite, like, okay, my second favorite line of the game here. Listen to this.
Let me just rip it out of him.
Can't risk it. The Ark's unstable.
Listen, hero. You have what's mine, and I want it back. Go on. Tell your Titan to open up.
About what? His feelings?
That's such a good line, and I love that it is, like, it's just faster to mash that option anyway, so I get to hear it every time, and it is so good. I love it. Matt Mercer's performance in this game is actually brilliant, because it is really just his voice, but, like, there's something about it that just works with the character. I also want to point out, the voice actor for BT is absolutely fantastic. It's such a shame that, like, I think this is the only video game that he's ever actually been in. He should really be in more stuff, but... yeah, Blisk is getting angry at us because BT has the Arc inside of him, instead of like normally in the pilot seat where we sit, now the Ark is there.
Still working there.
And he's badly damaged and he's pretending that he can't open. And of course, Protocol 3 of a Titan is protect the pilot. It's like the Titans basically have their own 3 laws of robotics.
1,
So
2, 3.
yeah, JB Blanc as
Nah,
Blisk is also fantastic. Like the voice acting in this game is
that's the
supreme,
problem
honestly.
with teams.
Also, I want to point out, watch Blisk very carefully. Keep watching him as he sort of blurs into the background and goes off to the right. So he's there, and zoop, he drops down, because we're not meant to see that because of our FOV. But because we increase the FOV, we can then see him zip down. Now, okay, I do want to actually point out, like, there was a bit of a serious epileptic warning here. So if you do suffer from epilepsy, and you haven't been affected by it just yet, this might be the worst part of the run. So, right now. And you're good to look back again. It's like those particular white flashes that happen when Sloan is firing the gun. I have been told actually do cause epilepsy at a higher rate than the rest of the game. So now BT's dead, we think, and we don't like that. So we're just gonna burn ourselves with some fire. So the real reason that we do that is that he does have scripted dialogue here, but it takes a while for him to start saying it. Unless we go and stand in that fire over there and almost die, then he starts talking sooner. I don't know why. Regardless, he is now going to rip his face off. And drop. So this is the SEER kit. It stands for Survive, Evade, Escape. Survive, Evade, Resist, Escape. Which gives us the most infamous weapon in Titanfall, and a second data knife. We're not meant to have our data knife because they were meant to have taken our weapons away from us, but in this FOV you can actually see we already have our data knife because it just stuck to the model. So, 2 knives. And then we take BT's data core. This is the entirety of his like AI and functions and all that. The chassis is not actually BT. BT is the blue light that we're now holding in our hands. This is the data knife, last time we properly use it. And now, we have the smart pistol. The frames drop there every time, it's consistent, do not worry about that. Everyone who's played Titanfall 1 or 2 multiplayer will know this thing. Everyone dislikes it, but it is so much fun to use. You can't deny that. It is the greatest thing. So, it's an aimbot pistol, essentially. It works, scientifically speaking, it works by each bullet having its own little propulsion system and basically, like, angling the bullets like they were rockets. But, you don't care about that. All you know is, you don't even need to point to click on heads. Which is good. And, of course, we get infinite ammo for it during this small part. Because otherwise it would be next to impossible to do this bit. Considering that you would normally only get, like, 2 magazines of it in the actual multiplayer. I think it's normally 2 12-round magazines, but this is an 18-round mag anyway. So, just some movement to get over the... Wow, okay, that sucks. Alright. Still faster to do that instead. Then we drop our new Titan. You will recognize this as FS-1041, who is the Titan that we would have dropped in the Gauntlet if it hadn't crashed when we did. So, that's a cool little throwback. We put in BT's data core. And all of a sudden he's BT-7274 again. So, small thing here. It's faster to run around the back of BT because this embark animation is faster than the other one from the front, where you run up the gun, which is just cool, but we prefer speed. And we're gonna get to do a bit more Naruto running here. So I want to build up tone with, I want to build up core with tone because getting all these locks is super easy. I'll switch to running now. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Alright. Okay, someone's asking a lore question in the chat. The FS 1041 Titan that we dropped did not have a core in it. Sarah Briggs took it out. Okay, so we run over here. I think I can switch to Brute now. Kind of. Alright. No, switch to Brute. We can then clip through the wall by flying and then crouching, which is hilarious.
If we fail, the militia planet of Harmony will
So that's basically twice that we use Brute to clip through a thing that we shouldn't be clipping through. You can actually clip through that just as yourself because the top half of that door does not have collision for some reason.
Initiating preliminary fold
And
weapon
we
power.
are about to enter the final boss, being Sloan. Because you'd think that the final boss would be Bliss because he's the big bad, but we don't actually kill him, and you would know that if you are aware of the extended lore of Apex Legends, wherein Blisk is the one who starts the Apex games. But I did tell you earlier that even though we skip a boss fight, we kill the same number of Apex Predators. And you might be wondering how that works. So, after this boss fight, which is the longest boss fight, and it's a very annoying one, so I'm going to quick save before it, and during each phase of it as well. We switch to Tone. 1, 2, 3, press Q, switch to Scorch. Okay, yeah. 2 of those, send out that. None of those hit. Destroy this Tone Titan. Switch back to Tone. Sloan should appear here. Yes, they do.
Ready for more. Sorry, mate. Time to die.
And then at this point, Sloan just gets basically infinite core, which really is annoying. Okay, so now we quick swap because that's faster than reloading normally. Deal with these Reapers. If I don't do this fast enough, they tend to run away and they just sort of get like hidden everywhere. Okay, and then we wait for Sloan to appear once more. There she is. Okay. Oh my god, please. Alright, I need these batteries. I don't want to lose this fight now. Alright. So we switch to Ronin. He was incredibly important for this. We pop his core and then we immediately start interacting with the arc injector. And then we explode. So, this... We now have our gun out in the cockpit. We aren't meant to have our gun out in the cockpit. That's dangerous. But yet, here we do. So what does this mean when our view switches back to that of the Titan itself? Oh, we have a minigun. We have a full-blown Legion chain gun. We can fire it, we can reload it. And here comes Blisk. Oh, would you look at that? He's come to gloat by standing on our Titan. Blisk is dead. No longer exists. Apex Legends doesn't happen. So, that skips about 40 seconds. And it's definitely worth going for, because it not only is it hilarious, also the card is not a part of the Blisk model, so it just flies away on its own. No trigger discipline? Absolutely none. And now we just hold forwards and make it to the final segment of the game. I am actually very much underestimated, so this is probably gonna, if I weren't using save states, this would actually be like a PB run. If I wasn't using save states, I feel like this might have actually been under an hour 45 anyway. But regardless, I wanted marathon safety, especially because it is past midnight now. But yeah, we have created a time paradox. Apex Legends never happens because Blisk doesn't survive. Ash is the one who survives, though, so maybe there's an alternate timeline where she is the one who goes and creates the Apex Championships. I don't know. We still have our gun out, even though our other two hands are still there. We can fire, we can do all this. It doesn't help us in any way, other than killing Blisk early. So, now what BT is going to do is he's going to launch himself into the arc, which is at the center of the fold weapon, and is currently being primed to fire on the militia planet of Harmony, which is like the militia homeworld, which is basically the ending to Star Wars, but of course, And of course, because Protocol 3, protect the pilot, he throws us out, and he sacrifices himself. BT dies twice in this level, and it is absolutely heart-wrenching. But the game isn't over yet. Time is coming up soon, though.
Cooper, I'm marking your HUD with the coordinates.
So, we are now just jumping around in messed up gravity, space-time, whatever this is. Things are weird.
I'm tracking you. Keep going.
Things are just strange right now. If I really hope not to mess up this, because that does happen sometimes. Okay, right, time is coming up very, very shortly.
That's it. You're almost there. Move.
3, 2, 1, time. And that is Titanfall 2. On my end, on my timer, that was a 1:39:39. What was the timer on stream?
Timer on stream is 1:39:40.
That's fine.
So
that's
very
fine.
close.
That's fine, because on mine I have like it down to the milliseconds, so it's at 1:39:39.77. So being out by 23 milliseconds off of the real timer isn't too bad. So we've saved the world. We've lost BT, unfortunately. And yeah, that's Titanfall 2. Thank you all so much for letting me do this, for letting me come here and for all the donations that you put in during this run, especially towards killing the Marvin. That definitely helped me come in at under 1 minute, 1 hour and 40, I think.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and congratulations on the unofficial PB.
Unofficial PB in a different category, technically.
Oh yeah,
but
we had a couple of PBs today, so it's been a really good day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else you want to shout out, or?
I just want to shout out the Titanfall 2 speedrunning community. If it weren't for them and all the resources that they put into this game, I wouldn't have been able to do this nearly as fast as I can. Absolutely go check them out. Brian Atto's movement techniques and guides are some of the best. I would also like to shout out my partner, ironically also called BT, for being the first person to donate to save the Marvin. Then after I showed them what happens, donating $1 more to kill the Marvin. So, absolutely. And just shout out to everyone who was asking questions and interacting throughout the run. It's a lot easier when I know I've got people engaged, and I feel like I'm very proud of this run. So, thank you for being a part of it, everyone.